I'm Hazel. It's Saturday today, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I have been up to, and answer some of your questions. We did skip a week last week, for which I offer my apologies, and we're back. MoP Remix came out this week, and we officially know for sure how long it's going to last because there is a big old number counting it down on your login screen. So if you're ever not sure about how long you have left to play MoP Remix and collect all of those things, it is not a secret. Just go to your login screen and check the number. It's going to last into August, so we have lots of time to play and level alts and farm bronze and collect every last little scrap of bits off the vendor if that's what you're there to do. To celebrate MoP Remix coming out this week, I wanted to round up 7 of the best tips that I've come across so far for a smooth and delightful remix experience. Number 1 is to stay on top of scrapping your gear. Your bags can get pretty overwhelming pretty quickly. You can use bag add-ons and other add-ons in Remix, so if you like, you can use your favorite bag add-on to help you manage your Remix bags. I've been assigning, just with the default UI, 1 bag to equipment, 1 bag to consumables, and then the gems all go to a separate bag, so I can at least keep them, contained a little bit. And then whenever you don't need gear, just pop it into the scrapper. You can summon it with this little bronze egg spell that they give you, and you can put anything that you don't need in there to scrap into bronze. If you put a piece of gear in there that has a gem in it, no worries, never fear, that gem is going to get spit back out into your bag. So I guess the real tip in the middle of all of this is to feel free to just scrap things that you're not using anymore, even if you haven't perfectly pulled all of your gems and arranged them all in a row. You can just scrap the stuff that you don't want anymore without any fear of losing your gems. Tip number 2, on the topic of gear and power. I know we want to save our bronze for consumables, but it is worth at least considering on your first character that you're leveling, which is going to be the slowest because that's when you're first picking up all of those buffs and putting those threads in your cloak. The first character that you level, it is worth considering A, checking out what your BiS gems are, and then B, maybe invest in some bronze to try to get them early if you're not getting lucky getting the good ones. Leveling can become a lot faster very quickly if you have the strongest gems, and you can buy unmarked gems to roll into random ones that you have not collected yet at the vendor at the bazaar. So for a fairly modest bronze investment that you're going to get back pretty quickly later, you might be able to give yourself a big power boost to help assist in leveling. One important thing to note about those gems is that your Tinker gems are going to scale in power relative to the item level of the piece that they're socketed into. So if you have a really good Tinker gem, it's worth making sure you've got it in the highest item level piece that you can. If you're getting big upgrades, but you want to keep the secondary stats of that lower level piece that you were wearing in the first place, you could take the low level piece to an upgrader and spend more bronze to get it upgraded. However you want to do it is fine, but just be aware that those gems are going to have a bigger effect if they're in higher item level pieces of gear. Number 3, I would say, for now at least, avoid LFR if your goal is leveling speed. At this current version of Remix, as of recording this, LFR is not giving basically any experience. It gives almost nothing, and it does take some time to get through it. So if you are trying to speed run to 70 the first time, I would say put your head down and focus on questing. Dungeons are fine, but I have found that focused questing and just powering through as many quests as you can, as quickly as you can, is going to go a lot faster than doing group content, at least right now. I'm expecting some kind of hotfix to the LFR XP because having it be that silly is a little bit goofy. And it brings up the question of why let you do it at level 25 if it's no good for leveling. But yeah, if you're after speed, quests are currently the thing. Fourth, I would say if you're looking for something to do or you're feeling a little bit aimless, browse through the remix section of the achievements and see if there's anything that appeals to you or any rewards that you want. Many of the Pandaria Remix exclusive rewards, the things that you can only get from playing this event, are actually rewards for various meta achievements. And these are almost all things that you can easily chip away at while leveling. So if you can't figure out what exactly you want to do, maybe you want to work on the Half-Hill Farmer's Backpack and you want to go work on those Valley of the Four Winds achievements. Doing achievements is also a great way to get bronze. So if you're not quite sure what you want to be doing, there are no wrong answers in the achievement window. Speaking of bronze, tip number 5 is if you see these golden orbs in the sky, fly through those for free bronze. It's just like collecting Dream Search Coalescence in Dragonflight. You can just fly through those on your flying or your dragon riding mount and then just get extra bronze for free. Like with the Dream Search Coalescence in Dragonflight, they like tucking them underneath things that are up high. So think bridges in the sky, towers, pagodas on top of towering mountains, that kind of thing. I don't think I'm going to be spending all day just hunting these out on my dragon flying mount, but if you see any when you're out and about anyways, it does not hurt to pick them up. For tip number 6, you may notice your bags filling up with these buff scrolls, and I would say feel free to use these all the time. Yes, they give raid buffs, and maybe some of those raid buffs you can provide for yourself, but don't feel like you have to save them for raid. You get so many of them that you can just keep a full row of buffs on you pretty much all the time while leveling if you want to. I don't even read them anymore. I've just been clicking all of them to get the entire row of buffs, including like attack power buffs for my Shadow Priest, because there's really no reason why not to. It's not like you can sell them to other people for gold. You know, this is a post-gold economy. You can't trade them for bronze in any way. So if you get consumables, just send them and have fun with them because there's nothing else to save them for. And speaking of saving, I don't know if it's exactly a tip, but number 7, one of my favorites. Be advised that Transmog is free. Yeah, it's fun to run around in the Pandaria-looking gear that you get while questing through Remix, but if you want to wear something else, it does not cost you any gold whatsoever to change your outfit. So feel free, pull out your Expedition Yak, have at it, and may you live fabulously ever after. Other things to do with Remix, it turns out that the Tusks of Manaroth are available in Remix after all, in exchange for an eye-watering 38.5k bronze and 20 Bones of Manaroth. This Bones of Manaroth item comes from defeating Garrosh in Siege of Orgrimmar on normal or greater difficulty in Remix. However, don't feel like you need 20 weeks to do it because in Remix and also in Dragonflight for a while, MoP raids are moving to a daily lockout. So for the duration of Mists of Pandaria Remix, as long as that countdown in your character creation screen is ticking down, both Remix and Dragonflight will have daily lockouts for these MoP raids. That means that if you want, and you're not even playing Remix, but you're still farming things in Siege of Orgrimmar and Retail, or in like Heart of Fear or Mogajan Vault or what have you, you can do those things every single day with a fresh lockout. The Blue Post did specify that after the Remix event ends, they will return to a weekly lockout, so this is not a forever, it's just a for now. But for the time being, go nuts, knock yourself out. In War Within development, an exciting little tidbit came out recently about bag bonuses. In War Within, we've got a variety of these new bag items coming that will have passive bonuses on them. Tailoring in particular can create a variety of bags that give bonuses to specific professions. For example, a mining bag that reduces your overload cooldown even more when mining. It is important to note that these profession bags are not reagent bags. They're just regular bags that have an extra passive benefit on them when you equip them. They are unique equipped, so you can only have one of a given bag. You couldn't put 4 mining bags on and get 4% extra cooldown reduction. That's not allowed. But you can mix and match. If you want to have a mining bag on and a blacksmithing bag on, more power to you. If you're not into professions, we also have this Arathor Courier's Satchel coming that gives you a flat 3% extra run speed while outdoors in the new War Within zones. Moving right along, Blizzard has also recently released the Data Mined Murloc onesie, and it has come to the cash shop. It looks like this. It comes with 2 different options for the helmet, so you can have a Angry Murloc hood or you can have a Happy Murloc hood. There's a backpack, a top, a bottom, gloves, and feet. I don't always cover things that they put in the cash shop, but this particular set is right up my alley. I think it's very fun for mixing and matching, and I really hope that one day they do a recolor of it that they put on the trading post so that these models can be available for not just money. Speaking of cosmetics, they're doing another Twitch drop. You can earn the Eye of the Legion pet, which looks like this, for watching 4 hours of a WoW stream, such as, but not limited to mine, before May 30th for this former TCG pet. And then as far as what I've been up to lately, I took a little impromptu time off, took a long weekend. I rearranged my office, so it is the same things in a different angle, that is true. And spent some time out of the house. It's been lovely outside. It's been a pretty strong UV index, so lots of like sunscreen and big floppy hats and like long layers of clothes because I will fry. But it's nice to get outside. And questions from this week. Shayrod wants to know, just curious, do you use add-ons? And if you do, what are the names of the add-ons that you use? So I don't use any like one big combo pack like LUI or anything. I use just a bunch of different add-ons, and I keep a Google Doc that has a list of all of the ones that I use with descriptions and with links and everything. So you can like look at my UI on stream and you can kind of go through the doc and sort of see all the different pieces that go into that. A lot of my actual combat UI is just default Blizzard UI with the edit mode. The only thing that's majorly changed is I like using Plater for nameplates. And if I had to pick 3 add-ons right now that I couldn't live without, I would say Plater for nameplates, Leatrix Plus for just general convenience features. Things like auto-accepting and auto-turning in quests have been very nice, especially when leveling in Remix. And can I mock it? Because if I can't tell whether or not I need to learn something by just seeing the icon in my bags, I get itchy. I will link the Google Doc in the description of this video, or you can find it anytime by typing !addons into my stream chat. I don't even need to be online, and the bot will spit out a link to it for you. And then Braden Combe asks, regarding hunter pets, do you prefer the way that pet specs are now where each creature type is locked? Or would you rather see them go back to how it used to be, where you could pick what spec your pet was? I feel locked out of so many cool creature types because they're cunning spec, which isn't very useful in PvE. My troll misses having raptors. So I'm kind of torn on this one. I thought about it for a while and I couldn't come up with like an easy, clean, like binary answer. I like the identity that having a predetermined spec gives pets. Back when they used to let you choose what spec your pet should be, I like the flexibility, but I also felt that it made the pet feel like it was just a coat of paint on a bunch of numbers. Like it was, and I mean, that's what it is, but it made it feel more like just another cosmetic skin, like a piece of transmog, and less like a creature that my hunter had a bond with. I think that what I want, and I am just one person, and I don't think this is like a widely held opinion or anything, but I think what I want is more investment in my hunter pet. That's what I like about Classic Hunter so much, is all of that work you put into leveling it up and training it and finding its favorite food and stacking it up in your bags. It's a good thing that it's not up to me, because if it was, I think I would add some kind of like, I would leave it as is, except that I would add like pet specific quest lines that you could do if you really wanted to like commit to this one pet and you wanted to change it to be the spec that you wanted it to be, where you have to like do, I don't know, like a pet specific quest line and, you know, get it its favorite food and then feed it that like 50 times or whatever. Like something that lets you kind of build that bond with your pet so you could encourage it to step outside of its, you know, cunning or tenacity comfort zone. But when it's just like freely available for all of them, that is definitely the more flexible way to be, but it did make me feel less invested in my pets, which is a me problem. And that has been the week. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be streaming quite a bit of Mists of Pandaria Remix, so if you want to hang out and watch that, it'll be over on Twitch. If you have any questions for a news video, please leave them in the comments and include the word question to help me find them. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.